Hey Charlie,
Hello, hello, Letta. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you're here even to speak to me and after everything you've been through. So I really appreciate your vulnerability. Um, I know there's a lot of people going through what you've been through, and I know that this can help
hmm
people. So
Okay.
can you introduce yourself and tell us everything? What have you been going through in the last while?
Well, my name is Charlie Haley. I am from Illinois in the USA. Um, I grew up. I'm near Chicago, about an hour and a half west of Chicago.
So near
And
where I grew up as well.
where did you grow up?
I grew up in Wisconsin.
Oh, well, cool. Yeah, we go to
Yep. So
Wisconsin quite a bit. Wisconsin Dells is
yeah,
a favorite spot. Yeah. So,
yeah. No.
I mean, where did you grow up at in Wisconsin? What city?
So I grew up in a small town. It was called Boscobel, and it was
Okay.
kind of just really small. I guess we would be maybe like an hour or so out of Madison.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you grew up like, did you say near or in Chicago?
About an hour and a half west of Chicago in a town called
Okay.
Maple Park, and then I moved from
Okay.
there to a town called Malta, in
Okay.
which is a little further west.
And you have been a singer for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been in a band for probably about 10 years, and we've put out a few albums and have done quite a bit of playing out, touring. I guess you could call it, and got some new music coming out this summer. And but we had to take a break during the whole COVID thing, but
Yes.
we're getting back to it. And
Okay,
then
that's exciting.
yeah, and then right before I was I was just about getting ready to finish the album that I was working on, and I got a diagnosis in August of 2024.
How did that come to be? Did that take a while to get your diagnosis? What happened?
Well, at first it was probably February or March. I started coughing a lot and couldn't get rid of my cough, so I went to the doctor and they said it was pneumonia. So they gave me some pneumonia antibiotics and sent me home, and it got worse and worse. So I went and had something called a thoracentesis, where they drain fluid from your lungs because I had 2 liters of fluid on my lungs, big old
Wow.
big old 2 liter bottle, and it was positive for metastatic terminal cancer, lung cancer.
Oh my goodness.
hmm
Terminal.
Yeah. Well, if it spreads to more than it hit like 4 or 5 organs. So let's see, lungs, bones, lymph nodes, liver, and yeah, so 5 organs and brain.
So you didn't have like, did you have anything leading up to this before like the lung thing started to happen? Did you have like any other things going on where you were like, that's weird?
In hindsight, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
I would just say little things like inflammation that I just couldn't explain, where my body was hurting in certain areas that wasn't normal, and I just chalked it up to maybe getting a little older, stress,
Yep.
working out, working too much, and my body was telling me that there was something else going on. I'm a healthy person, so I ignored it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, everybody's scared to hear the news that you got. That's the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and so they thought it was pneumonia. And then how did they find out that there was cancer? It was like just a different test altogether?
When they drained the fluid from my lung, they tested the fluid and found it there. And then I did a PET scan, and
Really?
a PET scan is basically just a picture trying to find the cancer in your body, and I was positive from here to my hips, my bone. I mean, I was covered head to toe, head to hip, I should
Charlie,
say.
how did you, what was that moment like when they called you in and they gave you that news? What does that feel like?
Well, my family was with me, but it's surreal. You feel like it's not happening to you. You almost feel like a character in a movie at that point, where it's just an outside of your self experience. Um,
It's like a shock.
yeah,
You're
it's a
in shock.
shock. And you're in shock I was in shock for a good 2 or 3 months. After that, I mean, you don't realize that you're in shock. I don't think you comprehend that it's shock, but your body knows that it is.
No kidding. And then it's like pure survival. So you
Yeah.
hear that you have terminal cancer, and I guess that's why we're having this interview, is partially because I have questions. But when the doctors say you have terminal cancer, where does your brain go? Like, I'm gonna die? Like, is that what that means? Like, there's no coming back from this?
That's what it's supposed to mean, but I guess depending on what you believe and how you're raised, it means you either give up or you fight. So you have two options at that point, and you just have to decide to fight.
And you decided to fight. And what did you immediately do? What's the first thing you do? What does fighting look like for you?
Well, first thing is prayer. Asking God for healing, and second is just researching the heck out of it to try and figure out where this came from, what caused it, and if there's anything natural that I can do to help with recovery. And so the first thing we did, because I was getting bad fast. I mean, it was going downhill pretty quick. So my sister pulled me from the local oncologist, and we went down, we raised $20,000 and took me down to Houston to MD Anderson. And they're like,
how did you raise $20,000? Was that the GoFundMe?
That was the GoFundMe. Yeah. So my sister put that up.
Thank God for that. Hey.
Yeah. Because I wasn't able to work. Because I couldn't walk, I couldn't breathe, I could hardly think. So right around Halloween, it started getting to the point where I was delirious. I was forgetting people, and just losing track of time. But I flew down the first week of November. They did a scan, and they put me on some special medication that tricks your genes into fighting, into turning on your immune system. And within 1 or 2 days, I was already feeling better.
Really? So, do you know what that's called? When you were saying you were looking into natural things too, is that what that was?
No.
Or what was it? What was that?
That it's called Alicensa. It is a pharmaceutical drug. So from MD Anderson, but it is I got poisoned from radon poisoning. My cancer came from radon poisoning. So there is a specific gene mutation that comes from that. It's called the ALK gene mutation. And this drug, thank God, switches that off and allows your body to fight the cancer.
Wow.
And but in the meantime, go ahead.
No, so you, was that super expensive? Like, that's what the GoFundMe, the help, the money that was raised helped with paying for things like that?
No, the drugs the Alicensa is $20,000 for one bottle. And I have to take one bottle every month for a little bit. So my insurance covered that, and my job has actually been very good. I don't get paid anymore from them, but they still keep me on their insurance. And I'm on Social Security disability right now, but I'll be getting off soon. But I'm finally, starting to feel normal and get better and healthy.
Wow! So you immediately just started. That's also a miracle. Like, some people do completely give everything for fighting and don't just give up, and it doesn't mean that they always win or that they do get better.
Yeah.
And so you took that, and did you ended up having so was chemo involved in that, or that's just a different thing?
Chemo is, I did not do chemo. I did 2 weeks of Alicensa that had chemo in the pill, but then I was taken off of that after 2 weeks.
I mean, were you really sick when you're taking all this stuff? Does this make you sick?
it makes you hallucinate.
Really?
Yeah, I was seeing all kinds of crazy stuff and having very lucid dreams. And I got down to 140 pounds. My natural weight is 185, 188, somewhere in there. So I lost about 40
Wow.
pounds. But two days after I started taking that medicine, I was walking again. So
That's crazy. So
yeah,
you started walking and you just kind of felt a sense of hope.
yeah. I didn't lose hope. Before that, I mean, when you're close to dying, there's a strange peace that comes with it, where you're not afraid of what's next.
Hmm.
Maybe it's because you're so tired that you just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
That may be part of it, but I think God gives you peace at that point.
Yeah.
Um,
You would
but
just, it's more of like this peace and acceptance of like what's meant to be for you. And yeah, when your body is just feeling not even yourself,
yeah,
it kind of
it,
probably all ties in together.
it's more of a weight at that point. It's kind of a stepping off period, where you go into your next thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. And who was there to support you during this time? You said you had your family around, and
my
were
my
they
mom,
caring for you? They
yeah,
must have been.
my mom and dad came down to Houston with me. I was down there for about a month, so I spent 2 or 3 weeks laying on this little love seat on my side because that's the only way I could sleep was on my side because I had all this fluid in my lungs that kept coming back, and I was covered in ice bags from my hips, my back, my neck, and they were taking care of me.
For the inflammation, is that what the ice bags are for?
Yeah, yep.
Really?
For all the
That's
pain.
just, wow. Oh my goodness. That's so scary. I know we always like, there's so many people that have cancer. And so it's almost like you feel like, I don't mean to be negative, but sometimes you feel like, when is it my turn or who's next? Or, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. I think
Yeah.
I think I think we just become unhealthy as a society. I think
Yeah.
that contributes to a lot of it. Some of it's genetic, but I think they're getting to the point where I think cancer is going to become less and less. I think with all the
And you
new
said you had radon
advancements.
poisoning from what?
Yes. Well, radon is a natural gas that comes from the ground in the Midwest and Northeast and Northwest. And sometimes it can get trapped in your basement. And if you don't test for it, which I did not do,
Yes.
it can build up in your basement, and that's how I got sick from my house.
Wow. No, I have talked to people who, I'm trying to remember if we have that right now, but there have been people who have come in and done radon testing. So that's what
Yeah.
I was wondering is like
Mm-hmm.
how crazy in your own home
Mm-hmm.
and you just don't eat, you wouldn't know. And so do you have a suggestion there for people? Like, what do you do? Get your house tested for radon?
You can go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a test and send it off. It's not expensive at all. I would recommend everyone that has a basement do that because everybody has it in their basement. Everyone that has a basement pretty much has that. It's just the levels have to be right.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so scary. And so you ended up starting feeling better after a couple days of taking this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And how did it go from there? You just like started going uphill?
Yeah. I became a super I watched every podcast on cancer, every doctor, every natural, every hippie thing that I could find. I did all of it. All
Okay.
the, I mean, so and I did sauna and cold plunge and walking and I mean it just all in head first because when you have cancer of that magnitude, you don't have a choice. You have to all in or you're all done.
Well, and there is so much advice on like all of these things you can try. So tell us a few more things you tried. You did cold plunge and you did like what else?
Cold
Do you
plunge,
drink teas
sauna.
or
There's something called SCAC tea that actually originated in Canada, where you're from.
okay.
Uh,
Okay.
it's kind it's kind of controversial, I think, for some reason, but it is a long term. It helps your body's immune system reset. And if your immune system can get put back online, then you can beat it. And then so I did a lot. They're called protocols. A protocol is just a treatment for cancer, either pharmaceutical or natural. And the natural stuff just helps your body to eliminate, cancer cells and things like that. Dead or dying cells.
And while you're healing and while you're going through all of that, you gave up a lot, didn't you? Can you tell us what you gave up? What did you do to have to pay for this? And
I sold my house. I got the radon thing fixed first. First thing I did was get that fixed. I put a ventilation system in there. It passed inspection. We're all good on that. So I sold my house and moved back into my high school bedroom.
And that's how you made it to be able to pay for your treatment.
Yeah.
Wow. There's nothing like fighting for your life, hey?
No,
selling everything, and you realize what's important.
And it's great for songwriting.
That's true. Have you been writing this whole time?
The whole time, yeah.
You probably have a lot of great music coming out.
I like to think so.
Yeah. Well, we'll be putting a link with this video, and we'll be watching, waiting, listening. So how far are you in now with this treatment, and how are you feeling? What are you doing right now?
I feel really good. My last 2 scans are clear. I'm still on the medication, but I'm going to be weaning off of it in the next year or so. And I just spend most of my time, I go to the gym. I sleep enough because when you're always on the go, you don't ever sleep enough. So I've been catching up on my sleep.
Good.
And
that's part of healing.
Yeah, definitely. And then researching cancer, every aspect of it, everything that I can do to stay where I am, because it's a fight for not just for a few months or a year. It takes a while.
Yeah, and you're hoping to prevent things from coming back, and
oh yeah,
I want to stay on top of that. So you went from what'd you say, neck to hip cancer, and now you have clean scans.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazy. What a miracle. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a testament to the human body's ability to heal if you give it the right chance. So I think a lot of people, when they get cancer, I mean, when you hear that word cancer, you think, oh, I'm done. I think people should have hope that there are lots of treatment options and that they can beat it and get better. So
terminal might not necessarily mean it's like that's what terminal is supposed to mean, but terminal doesn't necessarily mean it is over for you. You have to stop fighting.
Yeah, I would say there's probably different levels to that. I guess I don't know, but no, I mean I've come across so many people who are terminal, online, and they're 20, 30 years later they're fine, they're totally clean, never had a recurrence. Wow. So it's been done, it's being done, and I think that gives a lot of people hope.
Yes, and so you said you're weaning yourself off of that, and what is the goal now? What are you working on? You're not working right now. You probably shouldn't work for a while, or how does that look?
Well, I keep trying to go back to work, but my job doesn't want me back while I'm still on medication, apparently.
Okay.
So right now, I've been doing a whole lot of music, getting ready to release stuff, and maybe this is God's way of giving me time to pursue music again, and just pursue the happy part of life instead of just the 9 to 5 or the everyday grind that we all get tired of.
Are there some really big in your face lessons that you've learned that you would like to share with people? Like when something this crazy happens in your life, are there any huge lessons that you feel like you've learned that you would share? You're kind of just touching on that, slowing down, or...
I would say the biggest lesson is don't panic. I think a lot of people panic and then rush into the wrong kind of treatment or rush into just anything. I'll do anything right now. I think the biggest lesson is just don't panic. Keep your wits about you. Say your prayers, and know that there are options, and not just with cancer, but with that. I mean, if you lose your house or your job, I mean, you always have an opportunity to start over. And I think we should look at it as a way to. It's a new beginning. A new way to. We all kind of wish for the ability to go back in time and redo things. So I think this is an opportunity to do that in a way.
This is a really positive way of looking at it. And I think that's really important to share because just so many people do have a cancer diagnosis of some sort. And I think that them hearing that, maybe that will help somebody who's going to hear that they have cancer and maybe slow down instead of panicking and try to think it through, try to do some research.
Yeah.
That's really hard doing research these days, isn't it? Like, how do you know it's true? How do you know it's not? You just, you try to look up what's reputable.
Mm-hmm. That's a big problem.
How do you know?
Well, you can't avoid
try it all.
you can't avoid the snake oil people. So you just kind of have to pray about it, filter it through, and then find people that are kind of reputable and try them out for a minute. And then if they don't work, you just move along, and you just gotta. It's like dating. You gotta just keep trying people until you find the one that fits.
Aww, that's funny. And you learn from everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people you date and they aren't terrible, but they're not the right one for you. So you move on to the next one.
Yeah, and that's our analogy for trying out cancer cures.
Yeah, I mean, try it all. I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, you're already broke and dying, so.
Yeah, and how long do you give something? Say you're trying something and you're just, I don't know, you felt like you're praying for discernment on what to choose to try.
I would try, I would listen to both sides of the argument, the traditional chemo and radiation, and then I would listen to the hippies that say you can be fine if you go sit on the beach. I would listen to all and everything in between.
Try to find a balance.
Yeah, try to find a balance, and SEAC tea is what I do. Apricot seeds, and those are considered poisonous down here, but I've been eating them for a year.
I read about that.
Yeah,
I read about the apricot seeds.
Yeah, they're not poisonous.
So that's one. Well, you already felt like you could be going down. So
yeah, I mean,
wow.
So why not try it? I mean, I would try anything at that point. I would go anywhere. So
were your parents very afraid? Did you feel like there was a lot of fear in the family?
There wasn't a whole lot of fear until I started forgetting people. Then there was a little bit of fear there, I think. That but
maybe we're not getting our Charlie back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that only lasted for about a week down there in Houston. And then I started getting better.
And you started getting better.
Yeah.
And have you gained some of your weight back? I
am back up to 188, 87.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how fast I gain weight.
Well,
it's a bad joke, but
it's a great joke.
I'm just you made me tear up because it's just I'm too empathetic. But so you sold your house and now you're trying to get better and you're just gonna kind of take your time and then slowly go back to work. And then do you now have scans like super often that you have to have?
Every 3 months I get a scan. On a side note, I don't know if it matters or not, but I got audited by the IRS during this whole time too.
Oh no!
My
Why is that exactly what would happen?
my tax man did something wrong. I have no idea I had no idea why I'm being audited at all. But it just kind of dropped on me. I'm like, oh, who cares? I'm dying. So kind of
Do you write a letter to them and go, guys?
10.
Not
I've
now.
written probably 10 letters, and they don't respond to anything.
They don't care. It's like no one's reading them. We want our money, and
I think it comes from a computer. They just send you
yeah.
letters, and then at some point they go, oh, we should call this guy and talk to him. But
Oh my goodness.
so
As if there's not enough, and your work has been really good for you. They're just
my
like,
work
you
is,
have a job.
yeah, I have a job when I get back, and I'm very grateful for that. I have a roof over my head, and I'm going to the gym a couple times a week. Staying healthy and writing tons of music.
Oh, that's amazing. Um, so do you have any idea on when some of your music will be coming out that we should be waiting for?
Well, I have 5 songs being mixed and mastered right now, so it should be this summer.
That's lovely. And you have a YouTube channel. Do you want to tell us about it?
YouTube channel? Oh yeah, it's just Charlie Haley and the band. And I'll be putting all the stuff up on there and Spotify and anywhere, Apple Music. Where do you guys stream your music from?
Well, some of us Spotify. I usually see your music on YouTube.
Okay. How did
That's
you end up
where I
in
was looking.
How did you end up in Canada? Sorry.
When I got married.
Oh,
So, yeah, I was
congratulations.
actually on a Christian mission trip in New Mexico when I met my husband. And so I've lived in Canada like half of my life.
Wow. Cool.
So, yeah. And we started the Still Standing Project because there's just so many stories like yours. And um, there's just so much fakeness. And I think the world needs to hear real people, real life stories, you know what I mean? From real
Hmm.
people with real hardship or whatever it is.
Well, real
And how
people
you're
can,
still standing.
faith and uh, a don't give up spirit. And,
Yeah.
family and friends definitely came through too. I mean, so surrounding yourself with
Yeah.
good people is always a good idea.
And really, it sounds like you've been saying to keep a positive attitude.
I think that's a big part of it. Uh, don't get inside your head. Don't go Google your statistics because they're not gonna look good. I had a
Yeah.
3 to 5% chance of living, and I
Really.
I just decided to not look at that. And then my after I got a little bit better, my chances of living jumped quite a bit because I started to recover
What
so fast.
what did the doctors say when you went back and you like started climbing back uphill? What did they say? Were they surprised, or they were like, this is exactly what it's supposed to do? Or because if it goes from terminal to now you're like clearing scans, they weren't expecting that?
The word that they used or phrase was, "This is very remarkable," and then they started testing my blood to see how I got to where I was so fast. Like they asked for permission to study my blood for trials.
And you told them all of the things you were doing.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Because some of those other things, telling them all the natural things you're doing too probably helped.
they definitely help, but they didn't seem to care about that. They were just like, do whatever you want, but just take these pills. And so I mean, I did everything. I mean, I got a list of there's so many things that I did. I can't remember them all.
Did you do
Uh,
fasting?
Fasting, um, and let's see, turmeric and something called andrographis. I did lots of green tea. Uh, I know this stuff sounds like crazy. Well, tea, how can tea help? But uh,
I believe in green
fasting,
tea. I drink
yeah,
green tea like every day.
yeah. Good. You keep doing stuff like that, you won't have to worry.
It's I'm in some cancer groups, which I probably shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very curiosity killed the cat, so who knows? But I very much like to just like see what people are doing, see all the natural things that people are trying, and it is crazy. Like it is very informative. Obviously, we're all individual, and the plan for all of us is not the same.
No.
But I look in there and I see like some of the things that these people are doing and some of the natural things that are working.
Mm-hmm.
And I love seeing that
Some of
because
them.
I'm a very, obviously, I hope and I wish and I think that God made all these beautiful natural things. And I'm not saying I wouldn't do anything else. I would do whatever it took to save my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I love seeing all the natural things people are doing. I ordered myself some soursop tea,
Yep, I did that too.
full of antioxidants. So I have that a little bit. The green tea. I'm a faster. Um, I would like you to share a little bit more about some of the things that you like diet wise.
Diet wise, you got to get rid of the sugar. You got to get rid of the bread, starches,
All of that is inflammation too.
inflammation. The biggest opponent or biggest enemy you have is inflammation.
Yes, it
If you can
is.
get that down, so if you can get the CBD oil going, I did heavy
Yes.
doses of that. Um, it's kind of embarrassing, but my mom read an article, and I read an article of how they're treating cancer in Sweden, and they're using a chemical called Hamlet, and it's the main protein inside of breast milk, and that
Yep.
kills over 40 different kinds of cancers so far. So I was taking that too. I did the Rife
Oh my
machine.
goodness, it's amazing. The what machine?
Rife, uh,
What is
he
that?
he was a doctor. I think he was in California. You hold these. It's a machine that matches the vibration of the cancer, and it's supposed to kill the cancer. You know, it's like a harmony kind of thing where you're in harmony, or it's making it too uncomfortable for the cancer to exist. So I did that too.
I'm I'm so happy you tried all these things and you're here to talk about it.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, well, the thing is, when you started that medication, um, the doctors were still calling that terminal, right?
Yes.
Like, and when they gave you that medication, what did they say with it? Did they say you have, like, if they thought you were going to die? Clearly, they weren't
Well,
totally
my
convinced that the medication was going to be the be all end all to your.
my first oncologist was kind of a negative guy, and he was just talking about chemo and radiation, and right away off top of the bat, and those things can be. I mean, I guess they can be good, but um, it was the second. It was the second team that said, "Well, there are ways to come back from this." Um, they didn't call it terminal. The first team did, and but I think they just didn't want to say that. I think doctors just don't want to use that word. But when you look it up on Google, it says there's definitely terminal.
Yeah,
Uh,
but what does terminal mean now that you have proven that, you don't always know what things are going to look like in the future? None of us do. But if you have clear scans from a terminal diagnosis,
hmm I think
it
it's
says
just
something.
I think it's crazy that the human body can do that, and God made the body to heal if you give it what it needs. And thank God for modern medicine. Because along with all the I call it hippie stuff, all the hippie stuff that I was doing. I mean, there are some advancements in modern medicine that can really
Yes.
kickstart your immune system. I think they're
Yeah,
getting
that's
they'll be
amazing.
I think they'll be getting away from chemo and radiation soon. I think they're shifting to more less barbaric ways, I would say. Because chemo wipes out your entire, I mean, all the cells get killed, which is turning out to be bad news.
Do you have thoughts on if you would have went that route? Do you have thoughts like, I'm just so glad I didn't go that route?
If I did go that route, I would still do all the hippie stuff, all of the natural stuff. I think that would help a lot. So if people choose that, then that's totally fine. I mean, you should respect everybody's decision to do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
So if they choose to go that route, then they should also do all the other stuff to give their body the nutrients that needs to help fight. Because if your body has no gas in the tank, it can't fight.
And it just goes to show us how even preventative we can be, right? And so for me, I don't have a cancer diagnosis yet, if ever, but just being in these groups, as much as it could panic you, I think it's just cool watching like all of the things that people are doing, and some people have had stage 4 and they have come back from it.
Yeah.
After the doctor said they would not.
One of the biggest things that helped me, and I hear a lot in cancer from people who have cancer is just walking every day. If you just start walking a few miles a day, it just signals to your body that you're getting oxygen going, and oxygen heals your body. And just something as simple as walking. Keep moving. Movement is medicine.
Movement is medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Your body is saying like, maybe if you're sitting too much, your body thinks you've given up.
Yeah. I think
subconsciously.
Well, they say sitting is the new smoking. So stand up more, I guess. Go. I mean, we all used to play outside. We all used to be outside, and now we're all inside, and we're all couch potatoes. So
yeah,
go to the gym.
You were talking about CBD in there, and I was doing some reading about that recently.
Mm-hmm.
What is that called? Like, okay, I'm gonna just fly by the seat of my pants. It's just something I do, and
that's
is
fine.
It like called RAO or something like
Rick Simpson oil. RSO.
Okay, RSO.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Got a letter wrong.
That's all right.
But I've been doing some reading about some of that, and there's actually a group with a lot of people who use that for cancer, and some of them is that kind of what you tried? Like, is that CBD?
It's CBD is one of the chemicals in marijuana.
Yeah.
In the plant. RSO is the entire plant, but it's concentrated.
Okay.
So you'll get high off that, but if you're in that state, your body kind of needs the rest anyway. So I mean.
So that's what I was reading. Is some people said that they slept for months straight. They basically just got up to go to the washroom, and they slept for months straight. And
that's what I did.
The thing is, your body needs that healing. That's your body healing. So you just have to sleep.
Yeah. Wow. And I was drinking, a gallon of water a day probably, and sleeping all day every day. And I did the Rick Simpson oil stuff too. I mean, anything you can get your hands on, you should try it.
I think God puts things on the earth for us to use.
Yeah.
We should be trying to use them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there are so many good natural doctors out there, and there's so many good new stuff coming down the pike. I mean, they were able to use AI recently to map out the human cell so they can find where cancer is hiding at. I think this was in Harvard. So, because the biggest problem with cancer is it learns how to hide from treatment. So if they can, they're getting to the point where they can remove the cancer abilities or cancer cells' ability to hide. And so that's a big deal too.
I know. There's like all of this like new stuff coming out, and you're just so hopeful because um, cancer is very, very common. It's just so it's got to be.
Yeah.
Um,
And
what
it
is it?
tears
Number
people
two
apart.
behind.
Be-
What do you
be-
mean?
I hate to see families. I mean, I've seen so many people lose their mom and dad. It's just,
Yes. Okay. Yes.
and children's cancer is the freaking worst. That's horrible.
I've seen that too. Very people very close to me and their children having cancer. It's just awful, you know. And as a mom,
Yeah.
when you see people in these groups and their parents and moms are saying goodbye to their kids, and like it's just it's too much. I probably shouldn't be seeing it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm a prepper, as one would say,
Yeah.
and so in my mind, do the things that you can to try to prevent it, and then if it happens, like who would have thought radon in your basement and you were going to have terminal cancer? Like, it's just things happen that are out of your control or you wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good that you're in these chat rooms so you can learn what to do and what not to do to keep yourself from getting it. Because I mean, prevention is a whole lot better than treating it. So if you
Yeah.
can, keep your diet clean, try and do whole foods, try and stay away from all the junk that they put in and stuff, and
Seed oils
seed oils, big
for
deal.
inflammation. Yeah.
Starch.
Yeah.
Around me, glyphosate is huge because I live near a cornfield.
Yes.
But those are all buzzwords that can get you in trouble, so I don't want to see that too much.
Well, things are what they are.
Yeah.
And that's something that my husband and I we've talked about a number of times actually, because there are some things you can control, and then there are some things that are in all of your food, and
Hmm.
our environments can be so toxic, and
Yeah.
but you still have to take some responsibility,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, detoxing is a huge deal. I detox all the time now. So, make it a point to sweat.
Sweat.
Yeah. Sauna, workout, sweat. Any way you can sweat. It's a great way to detox.
No, that's a good one. Do you have any other, I don't know if I should say advice, but do you have any other words that you would give someone? Because we're here and people are going to be watching this, and we all have family members who have had cancer, or, people who have cancer are going to be watching. And is there anything else you want to say?
Well, your first response might be, why me? Why has this happened? And I would just go back to the don't panic thing. It has happened. It is happening. And you can make it through. Faith in God, loving your family, and even some good music. All the positive things have to come in now. Positive food, positive vibes, positive everything. And just work on staying positive. Stay away from Google. Never Google your symptoms, ever. That's a horrible idea.
Can we add stay away from the news?
Stay away from the news, especially right now.
I know. I'm just saying, stress. I've made some huge changes in my life recently.
Yeah.
Because I've told people, like, I think stress is going to kill me. And
Well,
people
social
would think I'm
media.
a huge stressed person, but
Well, if you're paying
for
attention, you're stressed.
yeah,
So
I think there's so much subconscious,
yeah,
and I don't come across as a super stressed person a lot of the time, but I have noticed that I think I have inflammation, and you can I can do fasting, and I can do all these things, and I can try to stay away from like all these different foods and try to eat things as whole as possible, and it's not just that causes inflammation. Stress.
stress is a big
You know what I
deal.
mean? So
I
much. And as moms or whoever you are, like I can be a bit of a workaholic. I would say
hmm
funaholic. There's too many things that I
yeah.
love doing, but
hmm
it still adds to your plate. So even though it's like, for me, it's more excitement stress, it still can be stress on your body.
Yeah. Stress increases
So
cortisol. Cortisol increases inflammation. I was working 70 hours a week right before I got sick. So that work definitely, and that's on top of music too. So all of us go-getters, you're a go-getter, I can tell. Go-getters need to learn how to sit and be
We
still.
need to go sitter once in a while.
Go for a walk and put down social
Yeah.
media and stop watching the rage bait stuff and live a simpler life, because you can't change anything you see online anyway, except for things like this. You can add your voice to it, but the world is a stressful place. But if you turn it off, it helps a lot.
I was doing a reflection. I try to put in between these videos a little reflection or just some things I'm thinking about. Not that anyone cares. But this morning, my reflection before I went to work was just about how we need to have time where we unplug and have some peace and lay down without a phone or go outside or have a fire in the backyard. We're huge outdoor people, and there isn't anything. I've taught my kids since they were little, like there's hardly anything that can be healthier for you than the outdoors.
Exactly.
Or healthier for you than fresh air in the outdoors.
Sunshine and wind, even cold wind, rain and snow. If it ain't below 0, you should go outside, and live life. I don't want to ask how old you are, but if you grew up anywhere in the 80s or 90s, life was
38.
so much simpler.
I miss the 80s.
The 90s. Yeah, you didn't have the stupid phone. You didn't have all that stuff to stress you out, and you just went and found your friends. So something else that we don't do anymore. We don't go find our friends and hang out.
I really love that about my kids because, well, especially my son, he has like all this little boy energy, and I have always been like huge about not too much screen time and not too much. That's been a battle in our house. It's like, no, you had an hour.
Keep the fight. Keep going, because
I'm a fighter on that.
One day he'll appreciate that from you.
And he goes outside, and in the summer, like you barely see the kids. You're like, they didn't even eat lunch. Where are they? And they're playing at the park, and they're on their bikes, and we have walkie-talkies.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I mean,
my son takes his walkie-talkies.
Good. How old is he?
He's 11. So
that's the best age for a boy. His imagination's pumping. He's out climbing trees and
the amount of time he spends building Lego.
That's awesome.
And it's funny because we don't necessarily do like New Year's resolutions that we ever talk about. I always say if something's a good idea, you never wait, you start this minute.
Yeah.
And but last year around New Year's, I heard him say, my New Year's resolution. And I'm like, where'd you get this from? My New Year's resolution this year is just to make sure that I don't play too many games. And I was like, man, we're doing something right.
He has wisdom beyond his years, because when I was 11, I didn't think about that kind of thing.
Well, and then my daughter, who's 16, she put a thing. My kids don't have technology where they can be on any social media because I keep that away from them as long as possible. Hopefully till they're like 90.
Okay.
But my daughter, she put a thing on her phone to make sure that it tells her like how much she's been on YouTube Kids or anything at all. So you can see them having to make these decisions. They're making these decisions on their own, maybe because mom hammers in that all this stuff is toxic and whatever. But it goes back to what we're saying, and it goes back to your healing. We, even for prevention, we do need to be thinking about what our environments look like and getting outside and sending our kids outside and what we're eating. And I guess if there's radon in our house, now I feel like I need to go do another test. Is that usually in older houses, or it can be anywhere?
It's every house has it. If you have a newer build, your house probably has some kind of a flow system that's pumping air in and out. But it can't hurt to go to Lowe's and spend $25-$30 and buy a kit and test it. how long have you lived in your house?
5 years. 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 5 Well, ours is 4 years old.
Then you're fine.
Um, so it's pretty new. But I do remember our last house having this conversation, and then people started coming to the door and be like, "Hey, have you radon tested?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Is this the new money grab?"
No.
But now after talking to you, I'm like, you know what? Whoa.
No, it's not a money grab. Now, it might be a money grab for them to put a system in, but test it yourself first. It's
Okay.
cheap.
Yeah.
But when you bought your house, you probably had an inspection done, and the inspection probably required them to test it already. So
Well,
if you go,
they built it. It's a brand new house. So I
yeah,
don't know if they
so
have a system in there now, or I don't know. But
I can almost guarantee that your house has a air flow thing going on. But you can
well,
check
this is a
your,
really good lesson for us to all look into the radon in our homes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
well, I will wrap this up so you don't have to stay here all day. But Charlie, I'm so happy you're alive, and
I
I'm
mean,
so
thank
grateful
you.
that we got to have this conversation. And I just know that it's going to help people. I do.